Hello, MS Live. I'm your host, Dulci. Let's try to get this camera. It's a little better. Let's see. All right. Okay, I got some stuff to go over today. Some news, actually, some MS news. I'm working on, let's see, three. Oh, I can add up to three on Facebook. Oh my goodness. All right, I'm going to, let's see, I'm gonna start adding people, just a short interview. Or so if you're on Facebook and you're watching this and you have MS and you have something to add to the show, you want to participate, uh, this we'll make that happen. We'll make that happen. Anyway, let's see here. No, Dee Dee. You know what? There's people. Summer lady. There's people I count on. Uh, it's like when we make plans once a week to go out for breakfast, or we make plans on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 o'clock East Coast time to get together and to hide Bev and to do something every Tuesday and Thursday. And Dee Dee, I want you to know that you are as dependable for being here as I am for putting on lipstick and showing up. Hey, hi there, Dennis. It's wonderful to see you. Bev, are you on YouTube? Do you follow the YouTube channel? Because we had this MS Live on let's see, on Tuesday, but it wasn't on Facebook. And the reason why is I had computer problems with so I had to pick one in YouTube. Hi, Warren. Uh, it just I had to pick one, and hi, Marianne. I just and YouTube. That channel was long before Facebook, and I've got a lot more followers on YouTube than I do on Facebook. Even though I got tons of followers on Facebook, but it's important. I want you guys to know that on Facebook, those of you on YouTube, my home page, I saw a picture of Madonna. My husband showed me, and she has reinvented herself with plastic surgery or whatever. He says, "Oh my gosh, look at her! She looks 16. It doesn't look like her." And I'm looking, and I start laughing because I know how I look. My friends, my family, a lot of you know how I really look, right? And I decided to make an extreme. I made myself look like Jessica Alba, Kim Kardashian. I blew up my lips. I reduced my face. I It's a joke. And I'm telling you all this because this here is what God gives you. You've no control over what's in your heart is different. So especially you gotta laugh at that. Somebody said, yeah, but it made you feel better to make yourself look like somebody. It didn't. It's as fake as my padded bra. So if you're not laughing, if and I'm about to take it down because people are taking it seriously. Some of you guys are saying, "Oh, you're beautiful. You're beautiful." You know what? The beauty you see in me is a reflection of who you are and how I make you feel because you're important to me. Again, there's a saying people don't always remember what you say, but they'll always remember how you made them feel. And if you feel loved or empowered by watching this show, then I have been a says I'm a tool used by God to encourage you. So, God bless you. So, the study, the news stuff. Hi, Sarah. Uh, uh, the study I want to talk about is uh, that is in the news is various ways patients with multiple sclerosis acquire disability. And let's see, a new study for at Mount Sinai in California. Uh, let's see, has revealed detailed information. Uh, let's see, and what they did is they analyzed the role of relapses on long-term outcomes and the role of worsening that occurred independent of relapse activity. And this is really good because there's a lot of us. What happens, and this is a syndrome with MS that we all are guilty of. I am too. Doctor neurologist says, "Oh, you've got MS. You need to be on this medication." So you take the medication for a while, and you're like, "Oh, but I'm getting worse. I'm getting worse." You're not having an attack, but you're getting worse. So you tell the doctor, "I want to be on another medication." And the neurologist is, "Okay, all right, we'll put you on another medication." And you get on the other medication, and well, you're still getting worse. You don't feel as good, and you're like, why aren't these meds working? Right? It has nothing to do with how you feel. Meds work, and it's very little of what you feel. It does hold attacks back, and if you go to msfrontiers.org, you will see. Uh, um, let me look. Susan. Susan's here. Good morning. Anyway, you will see that that the way neurologist discovers or finds if your medication is working is they want you to get MRIs every year. MRIs detect whether there's new activity, whether you've had an attack, and if you go to your neurologist and you're nowadays, if you're like, I'm having an attack, a good neurologist will send you to an MRI before using steroids. And this is important to know because old school, what did they used to do? They used to give us steroids. It's like, we're not going to give you an MRI. It's like, yeah, you think you're having an attack? Okay, I'll call you in a dose of steroids. All right, I'll line home health care to come in and give you IV steroids. That's the way they treated you. 1,000 milligrams of Solumedrol for either 3 or 5 days. The side effects of Solumedrol or steroids is increases your insulin or your blood sugar. It compromises your bone. It edema. Helps you maintain water. This is not something we want to depend on. It isn't. All right, let me look. Am I all right? Sarah, you guys are right like rain. Okay. So all right, so and Sarah and everybody who's watching, hi Bridget. Uh it's our human condition to want to feel better. And and to control that, I think about that. I sit on the couch and I think, gosh, I feel awful. All right, maybe I need a caffeine pill. Maybe I need an aspirin. I sat across at family dinner on Sunday. My sweet sister-in-law, she said, everybody's healthy, and I didn't have the cognitive ability to compete in the world of conversation. That I just was sitting back. Me at a loss of words. I had lots of words going in my head, but nobody else had patience to listen, or it's like, that's all right. But you know what my sweet sister-in-law said? She said she had COVID. She had just headache. She said, oh, the headache was terrible. She says, I broke down and took a Tylenol. She says, I don't do that. I don't take, she leans in. Nobody takes a Tylenol or aspirin, and I'm sitting back and I'm looking at her because I'm looking for the Twilight Zone camera in the corner. I'm thinking, wouldn't it be nice just to sit there and say, I'm not going to take medicine to make me feel better? Because we're not programmed like that. We've got a chronic disease. It's like, here's morphine. Yesterday I took two, it's morphine, right? It's really low dose morphine. I took two of them, and but they're so low dose, it didn't mess me up. I was very focused, and I wasn't in pain. So what I'm saying is that we have to work with these diseases. We have to, or with our disease, we have to take something, but we also have to be aware when our brain is trying to control our body, when our body doesn't necessarily want to be controlled. Sometimes it's good to lead into your fatigue because your body's telling you, you know, you swam a half a mile every day for 2 weeks. Yeah, no, you want to know why you're not doing squats anymore? Because you just don't have the energy because you're doing too much. So knowing that the human condition, we don't like to accept with patients the difficulties we're having. We like to jump ship on medication. Uh, can't do it. Right? The only way, and follow my mistakes because I've made more mistakes. In fact, I think I'm qualified to have a show because I'm the biggest screw up. I have done more things wrong than right. So what not to do? Watch Dulci's, no, watch MS Live. Watch her talk. She'll tell you, oh, you don't want to do that. Now Sarah says she was told to get a pill box so she can make sure that the pills, because she don't. You know what I did, Sarah? Uh, I had, in case of emergency break glass, I had a pill container, and it had all my pain medication from the pain doctors. I had that. I never took it. By carrying at my purse, by carrying extra baclofen, by carrying ropinirole, by carrying let me see, Nucynta, by carrying a low dose, I don't know, by carrying all these medications in case, Tylenol, ibuprofen, by carrying that, it gave me the freedom of just, it's like carrying a fire extinguisher when you're going through a house that has a little fire. So it gives you the boldness. You know what it's like is I used to ski. It's like skiing with poles. Ski poles. You don't need the ski poles if you're a good skier, but when you're a really good skier, you realize that it's better to have holding them makes your brain think you're a better skier. It's confidence. Also, when you ski, if you are convinced you're a good skier, you won't fall down. You will not. It's the minute you're skiing and you're like, I think I'm going to catch an edge. You catch an edge and you fall down. So that's so what happened is that we were at trivia night. This is probably 3 years ago. I thought I had my evening pills, and I pull out my in case of emergency break glass container. Opened it up, took them all at once. Ended up in the hospital. Drug overdose. Stu- Drug overdose. So it. Oh my God, there. I was so messed up. I was so messed up. It's low dose. I had low dose, but low dose, taking low dose, everything at once. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. What did I took everything. And they're like, she's consistent with being narcotic. Did she do heroin? What is wrong with her? Oh, it felt so bad. But like, no, I did not. I did not. It's impossible. It's impossible. So Brian brought me my purse. We looked through it. Sure enough, my bad. It was so awful. So awful. All right, so back to do not change your medication. You're going along, you've got MS, and you have not had an attack, but you feel like you're getting worse. It's all right. Why do we feel like we're getting worse? We feel like we are getting worse because we're a little bit more depressed than we have been. We've been inside. We're inside. We're not walking. We're not exercising. We're not creating healthy boundaries for ourselves. Um, we can't do that. We can't do that. We have got to lean into the discomfort. We have to exercise. Let me see. Patients acquire disability either through relapse associated worsening. Relapse associated worsening. That's we feel worse when we have an attack, which uh, doesn't happen often. I used to think I had 5 attacks a day. I'm not a day. 5 attacks a year. Early on, I had a very aggressive disease. But or do you have an active aggressive disease? Right? Are you convinced it's you're sitting on the couch and you're like, I'm getting worse. I wish I had an angel standing there saying, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you having an attack? Because if you feel like you're getting worse, you have to ask yourself, am I having an attack? Uh, if you're not having an attack, right, then you are not having a raw. It's called RAW. It's a relapse associated worsening. Um, the other type of disability is progressive independent of relapse. It's progression independent of relapse. This study addressed relatively. Right, I, 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 I need to be clear, and so many words in these studies. Uh, so they're looking at MRIs of 27,000 people over the course of 15 years, and they analyzed 3 data sets. Let's see. All right. Am I not getting to the bottom line? I'm telling you how the clock's made. And not hi Frank. Oh, it's great to see. You know what? I can I'm looking at everybody on Facebook who I can bring on. So I can share if any of you really would like to get on. Um, I can bring you on. So Frank, it says that I can bring you on. Bridget, I can bring you on. Sarah, oh Sarah, I missed you. I can bring you on. Maria, Marianne, I'm sorry. I can bring you on. I'm just looking. Bev, you can. Anyway, if you feel like sharing the screen, I can do that. But anyway, treating patients with disease-modifying therapies delayed symptoms by 3.51 years, by 4 years. So it didn't seem like a lot in the whole lifetime. Let's see, and by 3 years, respectively. And let's see. All right. So what I'm saying is that to take meds, big pharmaceuticals, or not to. Ask yourself what is the medication supposed to be doing? Because we put unrealistic expectations on these medications. Are you supposed to have more energy? Are you supposed to get, we can't expect yeah, we've got a permanent chronic disease. We are not going to get nobody ends their life tap dancing or looking great. The smoke and mirrors. It nobody this year. Someday, all the makeup in the world is not going to make me look like a young, pretty woman. It's just not. I mean, this year, I I've earned every dark circle, I've earned it. But what I'm saying is that let's be realistic. Does do realistically, do I want to look like a 20-year-old? Realistically, do I want to sit on the couch and blame my disease modifying medications? That's what they're called. They're called disease modifying medications. And why are they called that? They're called that because their job is to prevent the CD19 and 20 from our lymphocytes, the white blood cells, from attacking that myelin. It, we have got to uh, uh, recognize that it's like taking your morning vitamin. If you do, it doesn't make you feel better, but you know, and it's like taking that. It will not change. It may prolong your disability. Without it, it won't. Uh, but it's all give and take, right? I mean, some of these medications we take will increase our risk of having leukemia. I remember I took Nimontrone. That was the blue chemotherapy. Back then, it was Nimontrone. It hurt your heart chambers, the valves there. So they monitor closely, and they monitor your heart. I had 3 treatments. If you've ever been on Nimontrone, that will negate you from using Tisabri. So after a while, now I didn't know then, but they didn't know then. Nimontrone, it's they have, and then Lemtrada, when Lemtrada came out, uh, a lot of people thought it was the holy grail for MS. It's going to cure MS. And it not only didn't it cure MS, well, some people, it delayed their progression. There's Chaz. I don't know if you are, what, I didn't share this in Chaz has been part of MS Frontiers for years, and he was really trying. Hi, Diana. He was really trying to get everybody to take Lemtrada because it worked so well for him. But remember, aspirin works. I mean, Nicole talked about. So I broke down. I took a Tylenol. I felt so. Nicole was telling me she broke down, took a Tylenol. She doesn't take pain medication. She doesn't. And I'm sitting there, I'm looking at her pillow, like, uh, oh, can you? Yeah, it's good to feel so good, or never to have pain that's been there. I can deal with pain. I can get stung by a stingray. I've had kidney stones. I don't like pain. None of us likes pain, but pain is different. It's one of the symptoms many of us with MS have. I can We can have a entire episode maybe on Tuesday. We'll talk about pain, dealing with pain, but it just it's what are you treating? Should you be treating? How can we with MS look at this reasonably? All right. Number one is just if we look at these disease modifying medications as all right, I'm going to take them. I'm going to take them because I know I have an active aggressive disease. You know your body. If you've had a lot of attacks, it's good to be on medication. It's good. It's good. Dee Dee, why are you on the? Tell your husband you're in a virtual party. Anyway, so you take disease modifying medications. Hi, Maureen. Oh, sweet Maureen. Can you believe how old we're getting? Oh my gosh, it's funny. Hi, Sharia. Oh my God, Sharia's with us, guys, on YouTube. Uh, she's on Facebook right here. I'm looking up at YouTube and then down at your Facebook. It's funny. So, and Diana is now talking about these big pharmaceuticals. Everything we take has a potential side effect. And Diana is just saying that she was on Nivantrone as well. And the side effect on this medication, they said, oh, you've gone into secondary. And this is what happened to me in no, it was 2002. It's smoke and mirrors, Maureen. This here, the contouring, it's as fake as my padded bra. But the longer I live, the funnier life gets. I don't, but you're very sweet. You're beautiful. Don't you wish you had the confidence you do now as an adult back then? I don't know. Maureen and I just to let you know, yeah, just a little side note. Maureen, I went to let's see, junior high school and high school together. Uh, uh, yes, I agree. Genuine beauty comes with confidence in who you are and knowing you are doing the right thing. This show that I do every twice a week is all about it's all about separating, being accountable, separating fact from fiction. All right. I've got. I'm sorry, Diana. I'm so sorry. I didn't respond. It's fact or fiction. The medication that we were told when we told our neurologist, I think I'm getting worse. And you know what? In 2002, they said, my neurologist said, oh, you know what? You think you're getting worse? Well, you know what? You've gone from relapsing and remitting to secondary progressive. And according to my textbook as a neurologist, oh, you need to be in Nivantrone. Nivantrone is a chemotherapy agent that they don't even use anymore because it's dangerous. It is dangerous in that it puts you at risk of getting leukemia, which Diane is right there on YouTube saying she got leukemia from that, and it compromises the valves in your heart. I have a leaky valve on one of the chambers of my heart. Uh, so I was only allowed to do 3 doses. It was Navantro. Do you remember, Diana? Do you remember it going down the tube? It was a dark navy blue. Was not Navantro. They said that your eyelid, whites of your eye, your everything was going to turn blue. So I even had a blue wig picked out if I lost my hair. I didn't lose my hair, uh, but they did pull me off in Navantro, right? And Navantro, once you're on that chemotherapy, they didn't know there was going to be something that was going to prevent 78% up from 30% from our first medications, beta seron, our first medication, they were going to invent something that was 80% from 30% chance of not having an attack to 80%. And if you took Navantron, you couldn't now you can't get this great stuff that makes you feel good. And Gina, you're wonderful. The vulnerability of MS leads us prey to big pharma. I threw in big pharma, but yeah, it does. It does. It also the vulnerability of MS of any symptom, any sickness. When you're sitting on your couch, and you think that's the only thing I do, right? Because I talk about that. It's my happy place. The end of the couch. I've got and we all have our nest, right? Everything's within reach, and it's really good. But I think about that. My brain is, uh, you know what? And Diana said that yeah, well, to go back to what Gina says is that. Uh, we become vulnerable because we suffer from the human condition that desires us to not want to feel like we're getting worse. If we're getting worse, which is part of the disease, if we've got a chronic, if we're getting worse, right? It's natural to think, what can I do to keep from getting worse? That doesn't involve too much effort. Taking a pill is so much easier. Reaching for a Tylenol is so much easier than doing squats when your legs would rather just atrophy. You know, I've got a left leg at this point that says, you can tell the world that you have AFOs. You can tell everybody what to do, but I know you. My left leg has decided that it wants to die. It's ready for its angel's wings. I'm like, no, you don't get to do that. You have to participate and move in this. So what do we do? Uh, uh, we all have our nest, right? What do we do? Right? If we have to be each other's policemen, and that's why I'm just a talking piece. I'm trying to read all this. I have the studies that there's a new blood test that detects. Let's see, that may detect. Uh, let's see, it's called neurofilament light change. Uh, and it can detect the progression of your MS. That was I could go into it, but the point is the goal when we treat MS is to sit there and realize we're treating two ways, treating MS in 2 ways. We're just trying to keep the disease at rest. That's the first part. We're trying to it's the monster inside of us. We're trying to hold them down so we don't have attacks, right? And the second thing is symptom management. symptom management, whether it's pharmaceuticals, medical marijuana, whether it's for physical therapy, whether it's just unplugging and deleting a lot of things on your hang on, just 1 minute. I don't know. I thought I had. All right. I hang on 1 minute. Okay. All right. I have do not call on this Facebook. I've got do not call on and spam. I've got no more robo, but anyway. So I cannot have my train of thought broken. Two ways of managing the disease. One is by suppressing the disease activity, uh, getting that monster, keeping that monster locked in the cage. That is the Kraken. If we put the Kraken, the MS Kraken in the cage, there we can deal with the damage that the Kraken, when he's gotten out, the MS monster has gotten out and he's hurt us, we can deal with those symptoms. We can deal with it medicinally, physical therapy wise, but I've discovered the best way to deal with the symptoms of MS is to have a plan, is to say, okay, well, when we make the list of what we need to do, all right, we make the list, and I have nothing. I have got nothing. In fact, I'm showing you all of my lists. My favorite place to put a list is on the back of an envelope of something that was sent in the mail. You ever notice in your nest, Diana, when you're sitting there on your couch nest and you've got everything out and all of a sudden you realize that you carried your list of what to do into your office and now it's like, so you're on the couch, you're like, oh, my list is there. I can't add to the list or take away from the list. So what do? Right? Reach for an envelope from the day's mail and you write a new list on the back. So I've got one list, two lists. Let's see. Oh, I told you so. Three lists, four lists. All right, and things to do. Oh my goodness. All right, so let me. Gina is saying, changing the mindset to managing the disease rather than controlling it. No one can control this monster, and that's huge. Gina just, Dr. Gina is, you know what, Gina, uh, we got to figure out a way, the two of us. You know what, Gina? Or what I like, and Diana, you know what we can do to supersede this technology stuff, because this old lady doesn't like technology. That's why this is amateurish, and I have a limited. I'm small school, so when people, neighbors or friends, they say, "I've seen your show," I have to laugh. I'm small school because I'm not doing this professionally. But what I'd love to do is Diana. Do me a favor, switch to YouTube. YouTube. Gina, let us uh, let me call you before the show so that you're talking, you're participating, your voice is there. Diana, Susan, Jane, everyone, Sarah, Summer Lady, Dee Dee, you guys, and then Frank. I just, there's enough of us there that manage this disease that can help each other program our minds in a healthier way. As Gina just said, changing our mindset. We have to change our mindset because there's no controlling MS. There's no controlling it. But there's no controlling it. No one can control MS. But what you can do is stack the odds in your favor. How do you not? That is, Diana. That's great. Diana says she puts a list on her phone, and that's good. I have lists on my phone, and I forget I have a list on my phone. And about a year later, I'll be looking at the phone. I'll say, "What the heck is that?" And then I'll look through, and I'll think, I didn't do some of the things on the list." And anyway, so Gina, I would, you're the first person I'd like to figure out either next Tuesday or next Thursday. What I'd like to do, I know I'm just asking the Lord to work through my words. If my words, hi mom, if my words are true, and none of this is important, I'm not important. This is your show. Hi Dee. Dee, it's been ages since you've been with us. I'm so glad you're here. But if it's true, all right. If what I love what you have to say, and Diana, you guys have helped me. Diana, you made me a better swimmer. I don't have shoulder pain, and in fact, I don't want to do any kind of exercises anymore, except for swim. And Diana, you make that possible for me, and I'm always so, all right, with that, okay, maybe I need to send an email. I'd like to do Gina. I'd like Diana. Diana, you could tell so many people, share your love and your story about how to stay active in the pool when you've got a disease that, as Gina pointed out, you can't control. Let me tell you. Let me tell you something. I'm doing my best, and I walked into the gym, and I went to say hi to my mom, my mutti, my mother, and I went to say hi to her. I walked by a gal who had been asking me, 58. She had been asking me for the past year to help her get diagnosed with MS. And she came up to me and she says, Dulcie, I need a hug. And I went to hug. Mom, did you just give me a thumbs up? I love you, Mom. Anyway, so what was walking by, she asked me to give her a hug. And I'll tell you, those of you, well, you all know me. And to have somebody walk up and know you and to trust you and say, Dulcie, I need a hug. And I held her and she grabbed on to me like a little kid that needs a hug. And I gave her a mom hug. I don't know, I'm not a mom. I have no idea what a mom hug is, but you can feel a mom hug. And I held her and she grabbed on to me like a little child. And I said, what is wrong? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What's wrong? Oh, what's wrong? She held on. She said she had just been diagnosed with Lou Gehrig's disease, ALS. Oh my God. Stop the show. There is one thing that we all feel. We're all suffering. We're all suffering. But when I told that same story to my sister-in-law, you know what she did? She sat back. Her eyes welled up with tears. She couldn't have been more visually shaken than I hit her. Then ALS. So Nicole looked at me and she says, she's got 3 years, 3 years, she's going to die, 3 years. Uh, but I think there's some of us, and Gina, you're reacting the way I did. Oh my, it's so awful. But if you're watching this, you have advanced MS, and you've been in your nest, right, Diana, Gina, Sarah, Susan, right? Sharia, we have all been sitting on the nest at the end of the couch or in the middle of the couch with your nest, and you're sitting down and you don't want to do anything, and you think, oh my gosh, how many years do I have left on this body? Oh my God, the worst. You ever feel like when your leg decides that it wants to be dead, you ever feel like, you know, how many years do you ever feel like, I don't know. I need to be positive for all of you. So if you guys on YouTube will do the phone thing, how come nobody's responding to me? How come nobody is responding about uh, calling in? Let's do a call in, right? If I can't figure out how to do a split screen and interview you or oh, you know what? I have all your pictures. I can print out a picture and say, okay, this here is Gina. I'll have a framed picture of you. That is, that's what we're going to do. That's what I want to do. Susan, yes, that's what, that is. All right, so there's two ways we've got to manage this monster, keep the kraken behind closed doors, keep the disease at bay, and I'll let you know, something going on in my life since I've gotten. Oh, no one knows the microphone. Now, you know what? I call you in your house. I call you. I've got your phone numbers. I've got all of your phone numbers. I call you, put you on speakerphone, and you'd be participating. You'd be participating. All right, so we got a great Maureen Lyons. You know what? Maureen, this here. My old classmate, college, my old. Maureen, we are sisters, right? We're sisters because we grew up together, right? So, we're in the same tribe there. So Maureen Sharon, she doesn't have MS, but she has fibromyalgia, and which is pain and exhaustion, and she's talking about how swimming helps her, and it's all right. Let me see more. I'm because it keeps going on where it says that. And what's so beautiful, Maureen, and I was telling this the other day, is there's this new 19-year-old life coach. She's not new, but she just is so sweet. So sweet. I love her. All right. What is really sweet is that the more I progress, the more I see people that I love that count on me being healthy or being the way I am normally, step back. It's like, oh no, I liked you better when you could go for walks around your block. Now that you can't walk with us, you're not as, we don't have as much in common. It's like, so I see people that I love stepping back, friends and stuff stepping back. But is it their fault? Or everybody lives in their own life. What is good? What's appropriate for them? So, and what's great of being a Christian is to recognize that and forgive other people for not being able to handle it. Why do we forgive? If we're Christians, we forgive because Christ forgave us, and first did us. And back to you, Maureen. Back to you. I was explaining that a lot of the people I went to high school with, or a lot of some neighbors, I found out that the, there even people that know me in the community, every once in a while they say, "Oh, I watched your show." You know why this show works? Because everybody's got something, and one person's disabling MS, right? Disabling. It's like, oh, I can't. I don't want to do life anymore. Do you know there is a strain of medical marijuana called Dr. K? You know what it stands for? I was researching this stuff. It stands for Dr. Kevorkian. Dr. Kevorkian. And you can't make this stuff up. You can't make any of this up. It's funny. It's so if you live long enough, Maureen, I know people. I people from Medford, people I know that have disabling diabetes, depression, post traumatic distress, PSTD, post traumatic stress disorder. Oh, ADHD. I don't know. I don't know. THC. I don't know. There's always something. But how are we going to manage our pains? We all have a pain in common, right? There's that bookmark, which I love because I need to read that every day. It's been about 4 days. I've handed out, I think it's 8 of them over the past week to healthy people. Maureen, do me a favor. Uh, Message me your address because I need to send you one of these bookmarks. And I really do. The bookmark is my rules for myself. Uh, Keep me in the game. I'm sorry, I'm looking for one of the bookmarks. They're in that basket. They're in the basket over there. And anyway, yes, tech. Yeah, thank you. Because and I've sent. They're in Medford. They're everywhere. Most everybody has a bookmark, but it's the only thing that keeps me from not being jealous of the people who have a devastating fight. Devastating. I'll tell you what, Diana. I got a question for you, Diana. Diana is the person that was on the Avantro and I'm telling this to Facebook. She's the person that was on Avantro, the chemotherapy that ended up with leukemia. So my question, Diana, is was dealing with leukemia uh, easier or harder than it is to deal with MS? And I know it's not a fair question. It's not fair. It's not. It doesn't seem fair. But this is just to put not in perspective, to acknowledge that one is it's like the tortoise and the hare. One is a constant trying to make the chicken salad or lemonade out of lemons. One is constantly doing that. The tortoise and the hare. MS is the tortoise, and leukemia, ALS, cancer, all of this stuff is the hare, right? It wants to race faster we're all going to end up dying of something anyway, right? If the race is to the end, to death, right? So dealing with a a hair, something that's really fast that it brings you to death, or something that is slow, like tortoise wise, we're going to end up uh, facing death with not looking like beauty queens, not walking, not tap dancing, or like a little kid running from your front door to the bathroom or your bedroom. Remember, it's like baby goats. It's, but you know what it is? Hi, Kevin. The beauty is in looking at old things and deciding what you're going to react to. Um, that's the biggest disease management for me at this point in my life. Is deciding not to pick up the phone if a telemarketer calls, not pick up the phone if uh, somebody's calling and that you know and love and respect, and they are in a bad way and they're yelling, they're taking out something on you. So if the boundaries that we set up for ourselves are so much more important, are so much more important as we progress, as we're limited. And Diana is saying, she said, Diana says with her leukemia, she was in the hospital for 4 months and almost died. And she has complications from that now. It's, you know why so Gina's sharing with us, she's just now learning to say no, right? And you know what? Gina here is a lesson with no. No is a complete sentence, and it takes practice. It takes it takes practice. No, you know how I practice? There was a door solicitor who came up to the front door and she wanted to replace my windows. And she says, let me replace your windows. And I said, no. So no is a complete sentence. No. So you're not allowed to say no because, right? No is a complete sentence. The minute you say no, because you're inviting somebody to negotiate with you, the negotiations begin. Let your no be your no. So, and it takes practice. So I had to open up the front door, and she's like, "Well, you know what? It'll help me if you just let them come over and give them a quote. I all I'm supposed to do is line this up." And I said, "No." And she said, "Do you say anything else but no?" I said, "No." And she started getting belligerent with me. But I had to say no, and when she kept at me, I said, what is your name?" And I wrote down her name. I said, "Give me a piece of paper," and I gave that, and I said, I'm gonna call your boss and say that, and tell him about our exchange here. And that's all I said. And she says, I can, she didn't threaten me, but she was belligerent, and she didn't take no for an answer, right? If somebody doesn't take no for an answer, is that our problem? Or is that their problem? People who take no. When I went to Johns Hopkins, and this is my old neurologist that I fired. She was bullying me. She bullied me into a certain medication. She was bullying me into getting the vaccination. I had questions. I said, "I'll get the vaccination, but you've got to answer these questions for me." She didn't answer the question. So I'm saying no. I said, "Until you answer the questions, the answer is no." And she'd say, "Why?" "No." I'd say, "No." She'd say, "Why? What is your reason?" I said, let's just say it's religious, because if she's not going to answer me medically, why? Then if she's not going to do that, then that's her problem. But I can no, because so I said to her, well, let's just say it's religion. All right, I've got a covenant with my husband. If I violate my body with a shot that he disapproves of, I better have evidence. I better, so I've got to get that in order. And she said, oh, so it's religion. Do you know the Pope says it's okay? Who makes statements like that? That's somebody who thinks they know you. It's like, oh, if you knew me, you wouldn't have said that. It's because the minute somebody says something that has nothing to do with you, the minute you just shut them up. There's also another saying that said, be very careful arguing with fools, even though they're worldly respected neurologists. Because if you argue on logic, if you argue onlookers with a fool, onlookers might not know who the fool is. Let your no be your no. Not negotiating. I know my husband says, you need to bring that bookshelf downstairs. And I'm thinking, yeah, with the walker or whatever. Do I say no because I'm not steady, I'm not strong enough, I drop everything, can't feel my fingers? Do I give them all the excuses, or I just say, I'm not gonna do that? That's not gonna happen. And laugh. Nah, let your no be your no. All right? Complete, no is a complete sentence. That is the mantra that we're going to carry with us until next Tuesday. Let your no be your no. Uh, yes, Maureen, you do that, and I'll put it in the mail today so that you'll get that soon. I'll do that a couple. I'll throw a couple in there. Also, I want. All right, Gina. Next Tuesday, will you agree to? I know. Gina, I'm feeling you, and I feel what if you are my true sister in suffering. You're like, can we make that decision Tuesday morning? I don't know how I'm going to feel. I don't know if I'm going to be up for it. I don't know if I'm going to be clear about. Yes, you know what, Gina? Be madcap. Fake it until you make it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right. Let's do it. Anyway, it's top of the hour, so it's time for me to say goodbye. Love you all. Please subscribe to the YouTube. If you're not on YouTube, it's Dulci, Jean Hill, Repke, I don't know, If you put my name in any search engine across, I've got so much of a presence, social presence, that uh, I've got that you'll find my the YouTube page. All you have to do is hit subscribe. You can participate in the chat. You can participate in the chat. Love you all. Let me pray us out. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you. Thank you for Maureen. Thank you for everybody who participated today. Uh, Thank you for Diana and healing her leukemia, and just sustain us all. Sustain those of us with low energy, fibromyalgia, and multiple sclerosis. That when we feel like we're getting worse, please empower us to lean into each other, lean into you, so we can see the beauty that is around us and not what the festering human condition that we feel inside of us. In Jesus' name, thank you. Amen. All right. Have a wonderful weekend. Can you believe how fast life is going? And love you all. Let me know that, anyway. See you on Tuesday. Bye.